Well, hello, and welcome once again to The Problem with Everything. This episode is about getting ill. If I could rap, I would rap now. Get ill like a motherfucking down with the Holmes. I don't know if I can rap very well. I do have some rhythm. And rhythm is important, but it's not a problem to have rhythm. In fact, it's good to have rhythm. And one might well say, truly, that it is good. Another thing that can be said to be good is to be healthy. Healthy, an adjective. To possess health, which comes from the word to heal. To be healthy implies having health. To have health implies that one is healed. What is one healed from? Is one healed from a wound? Is one healed from an illness? What is our illness? Right? We say it's good to be healthy. Some people even say it's safe. Safety is a different issue, and there may well be a problem with safety, especially when it is prioritized above other things, such as conscience. For it might be much safer for me to annihilate my enemies. But could I do so in good conscience? That's a big question that I haven't begun to consider. So safety might well be another topic. But illness, yeah, I can include that among the problem with everything. Where it is a problem to fall ill. What do we fall from when we fall into illness? I don't know. But given that we all think being healthy is good, I dare say we've all fallen into illness at one point or another, and we desire to be healed from it. And how does that healing come? Now, in the physical realm, and my body certainly is a physical thing, there is a law of causality to which all physical things, including this body, are subject. So when I fall ill, such as with a bacteria entering into my body and multiplying, but not the good sort like live in my gut and help me eat, maybe not a bad sort of bacteria, but nasty in its effects upon me, such as when I get bronchitis in my chest, right? It's bacteria apparently. And then, because bacteria is also physical, we can apply physical substances to affect it, causally. Now, of course, there is some, what's that word? Some chance involved in their efficacy, and a lot of other factors besides that. But it's true, every man is subject to chance. And not only men apparently, but maybe not apparently. Maybe the chance in that case of an antibiotic being applied to a bacterial infection without actually killing that particular organism, that bacteria, maybe the chance involved there is actually active upon the body of the man and not upon the body of the bacteria. For I hold it to be true that all men are subject to chance. Perhaps women, perhaps children, but definitely men. But I have no such belief about bacteria. Neither dogs or cats or elephants or giraffes, for they aren't men. Though I love them, as I love men. And tangent here, I did come out to my parents as non-binary, both man and woman, and they were fine with that. Absolutely fine. But that's very personal to me. As is this story, this foolish story I have to tell about walking my dog this morning in the rain underneath my umbrella, and I saw a political placard, and on it was a face of a very conservative looking person. And I read the slogan beneath it, and it said transparent, responsive. And I thought, my goodness, things are perhaps progressed more than I kenned. Maybe things are looking up for us. And then I realized what I had read as transparent, and a woman brave enough to platform on that platform, or political campaigns have platforms, and that I was assuming that this was a political campaign on the basis of transparenthood. But in fact, it was a buzzword: transparent, see-through, responsive, and the figure in question did appear to be quite conservative by their attire, but in any case, that is a hell of a tangent, because we're talking about illness, and though sexuality has previously been conceived of by Western medicine as an illness, thankfully that is no longer the case. However, mental activity expressed through behavior is conceived of as an illness by some charlatans, I would say, because the mind is not physical, the spirit is not physical. Therefore, these things are not bound by physical laws of causality, which bind only physical things, and physical things they bind. And therefore, them that would diagnose a symptom of someone and say it indicates a cause, because symptoms are effects of causes, and as we have just seen, as I have presented, whether you hold it to be true or not, I hold it to be true. I ask you to consider it, that's all. That a symptom is regarded as an effect of a cause. Causality operates by physical law binding physical things. Causality, I would say, does not bind non-physical things, such as a spirit or a mind, right? And unlike some behavioral psychologists in the 1950s, I actually do think some of us at least do possess our minds, and some of us at least do honour our spirituality, even through our sexuality. And here I come to the fallacy which I would like to present, the fallacy of the medicalisation of human behaviour, with diagnoses such as ADHD, ODD, and so on. Right? These diagnoses are given to children, and on the basis of these diagnoses, based upon symptoms, which are effects, and effects, as we know, all have causes. Right? But this symptom that they are identifying is a behavioural pattern in a human being. A human's behaviour is directed by their volition, their will, which is part of their mind, perhaps their spirit also, which is not physical, though people have indeed tried to measure it by weighing dead bodies just before they die and just after to see, is there a difference? Does the spirit weigh a couple of grams? Can it be measured? No, it can't. It's not physical. Nor can it be controlled through physical means, as actively as men have tried throughout history to do so, and as actively as men try and women try today to actively control the will of others through the administration of physical substances, whether they be shackles, whether they be zip ties, whether they be injectable medicines. They do try, calling these things nootropics and psychotropics, to inject them against people's will, such as any one of us. And they do so on the basis of a fallacy, by saying that a mind is a physical thing which can be subject to causality. It cannot. To do so invalidates the proposition that human beings have free will. If we invalidate that proposition, then we invalidate something core to criminal law, which is the idea of motive. If one kills without motive, right? And I hate the talk of it, it's so undisciplined to do so. However, if one does, then one might be accused of manslaughter, but perhaps not homicide, right? If you take away free will, as some people claim when they say, the devil made me do it, or God made me do it, or I'm doing it to save the children, right? When they use force upon someone, whether lethal or otherwise, they can affect the body physically. They can cause the heart to stop beating, the brain to stop firing its neurons. But they cannot affect the mind. They cannot affect the spirit, for there is such a thing as the unconscious, and we can go and hide there if we need. So, that's part of the problem with everything. Being ill. Right? I'd like to swear, because the men that use illness to scare people and to apply force to them against their will are evil people by definition, for it is evil to take power over another. It is evil to dominate another. It is evil to oppress another. But that's for another episode. Thank you very much for being so kind as to listen to an old man with a bald head. In the shelter, in the rain. Thank you.